Corinthian, bringing you guys a update video about Kingdoms at War and the whole war system rework and just overall extremely large update that came out today. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I've already hit the login to Facebook bit, so you guys won't see any of that info. Logging in, and I'm going to talk about my build in a second, but one of the things that came out with this update is that you can upgrade the castle to level 2. And when you do that, you will get a bunch of raw stats. These are raw stats. In order to convert them, you'll have to multiply them by 1/50th or 0.02, and you can see over here exactly how much they give, which is of course going to be 40,000 attack, 40,000 defense, 30,000 spy attack, and 30,000 spy defense, and the rest is going to be of course my buildings. Also, you will see that there is going to be a castle achievement for upgrading the castle. And so I'm just going to go ahead and here. The description appears to be bugged at the moment, but it will be fixed eventually. And yep, that's just for when you upgrade the castle. As you can see, there's still a few things to be worked out. Now, here you can see that we are currently running an epic battle, and there have been some tweaks to the epic battle system this update. Among them, and most popularly, being the repeat action button, where you just go ahead and hit fight. You might have a potions option. I don't have any attack potions on me at the moment. And then you just hit repeat action, and it'll use the potions that you previously used, do the action that you previously selected, and so you can just do this to unload. And you can see me just cycling that a few times just to show you guys. And I'll go ahead and do assassination to show you that it is for spy actions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Clans seems to be having a little bit of trouble on this. Not a very active clan. The regeneration we've been fighting for some time, but it looks like some more members have become active, so we'll get this down in a bit. Something that's kind of big with this whole update, and I'm not too certain if I should talk about my build and the castle in general in a separate video because it involves mechanics, but the clan system itself has been somewhat reworked. You'll notice that instead of seeing strongest clan, which used to be the overall clan leaderboard, is now going to be the strongest section, where people with the best stats in their clan will be in the strongest section. Wars 1 is removed, as well as most plunder, and instead of the overall LB, or I guess you could say it's been split, there is now prestige, and there was an initial seeding of prestige depending on where you were on the overall LB at the start. So you can see some people already have different amounts of prestige. If you're a new clan or you weren't ranked very high on the leaderboard, you will start at 1,000 prestige, and basically you will be able to gain prestige by winning a war versus another clan, or lose it versus another clan. And just what is prestige? People have been kind of asking. Prestige is basically a rating system, kind of like the ELO rating system or ELO rating system, where if you attack someone that's equal to your stats or equal to your prestige, so if I attack a 1,000 person, I'll gain 49. If I lose, I'll lose 51. I'm not certain why, but instead of it just being 50-50. But then if you go ahead and hit someone who's larger than you, you'll gain more prestige, you'll lose less prestige for losing. And on the other hand, since they're fighting someone much weaker than them, they will lose more prestige and gain less prestige. And so there's a whole incentive to try to beat higher prestige targets and not lose to lower prestige targets. So that's that. You can still declare, I think you can declare against any prestige clan. I'm just not too certain exactly what else is going to be affected there, if your prestige gains are going to change or if you won't be able to. I need to check that out myself. Additionally, coming up with this whole rework, war tax has been increased during the clan war. Basically the amount of tax that gets siphoned off of gold, I guess, from attacks and steals is being increased from 20% to 40%, and this is whole part of the whole removing plunder wars plan. So it's just going to make doing that whole setup of I'm going to attack you a whole bunch and then forfeit, I'm going to attack you a whole bunch, and basically I'm not going to be losing too much gold for the ability to attack people much bigger than me that I wouldn't be able to hit otherwise. And so that's going to be at more of a cost. And additionally, the war tax itself, instead of just paying out the tax that was taken and returned as gold, it's actually going to be returned in a new resource called Mithril. And so what Mithril is going to do is it's going to allow you to activate various spells And you'll notice that there's some locks on some of these spells, and that's because they are achievement based. So if you do not have the achievement, or you haven't, done what it says, then you will not be able to use that spell, and I'll go over that in a bit. Something that you might want to know before I get into this, though, is that you have to upgrade the castle before you can use or access the Alchemist. And so that's just going to be something there. Now you might be wondering, how do I have 5 mithril? You can see the little icon over here, when I don't even have, when I haven't done a war. You can't have done a system war in the time that it's been since the update was released. Well, the developer staff was nice, and they gave everyone in the game 5 free mithril to mess around with stuff. Among them you'll see colors and stuff. You can color your name in world chat, so Dragon Duck here, Fireblaze and Mubu or Teal, and so on. And moderators are green. We have our own custom color, so that is nice. I'm not going to look at that though, since Benny appears to have it. And just quickly looking at my clan chat, they wanted me to give you guys waffles, but when I logged out and logged back in, their own spam removed the waffles from the clan chat, and so I can't do anything about that. So I've showed you guys epic battles. I'll just go ahead and talk about the Alchemist. So it requires 4 lands explored in the Highlands, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that. I already unbanked 15 billion from my attack potions and spy attack potions, and I sold an ally, and so I'll just quickly go ahead and do that. I believe 15 billion is enough, and again, I'll talk about my build and why I'm not keeping any other buildings than what I'm currently keeping in a bit. And so I've unlocked Highland Explorer. I can look at my achievements if I want to. You get this whenever you get a new achievement. And so, trying to find it. There it is. You get the first one for free as soon as you land complete. The second one you get at 4, the next one at 12. And just to show you guys how nifty it is, yep, Bloodlust is now unlocked, Veil of Darkness is now unlocked, and I'm going to talk about the spells in just a second. Something that you'll just notice to know that it is tied to achievements is this requires 12 lands to be explored, which is the next achievement, and 25 lands explored in the Highlands for the very last color unlock. And so that will be a little bit of bragging rights if you see someone with that. Additionally, just so you guys know, that it is tied to achievements and not what you currently have, the Oath of Fealty is unlocked by having or owning 100 allies at one point in time, and I believe that's the level 3 or 4 commander achievement. I'm not too certain since I've had max commander for a while, but once you get to 100 you can have less than 100 and you'll still be able to activate that spell. Now for those who are going, oh well, you could activate the Seal of Loyalty 3 times and it'd be cheaper than using the Oath of Fealty. Even if, it'd be a shorter duration. And that's intended, so that way people can choose between, alright, I'll just set it off for a day and I'll pay that 5 extra mithril, as opposed to, I can save some mithril if I just use the Seal of Loyalty, but then there'll be little gaps where you can be stripped and stolen from and so on, if people know when you activated it. And that's something I'm going to have to bring up. So I can't bring up the battle list because of my current stats, as that will not be apt. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to top players, and hopefully someone has a spell active, although it's unlikely anyone would spend their mithril this early, I can hope. So nope, not going to happen. Guess I'm going to have to go to world chat and look at someone with a color active. And so yep, here it is. You can see that, oh my goodness, the pro pack icon is much different. If you are a pro, you get a special avatar and you basically become a pro by buying a pro pack from the Oracle, which you can only do on iDevice. And you'll normally get an orange background, but when you have a spell active it will become a blue background. Additionally, if you're just a free account, you don't spend any money on pro packs, nothing like that, your normal avatar will glow. And the reason why I'm not activating a spell, I'll talk about in a bit, and I know I keep postponing things, but I promise I will get to them eventually. What I'm mainly interested in showing you guys though is that if you look at someone, aside from just seeing that they have a glow and so on, you'll also notice their active spells. In this case you notice that this person has Royal Enchantment active. If you look at Royal Enchantment, it is in fact the purple color, which I believe you get from land completing, and so these are pretty much both free. But you get the idea there. So he's just using the best one that he can. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about spells for a little bit. I already talked about how if you can see active spells on someone, if you know when they activated it, and so on. That's that. So for stats, basically it gives you stats for certain duration. Think of them as potions of sorts. You activate Battle Fury and it'll increase your attack and defense by 25 million. Now this isn't increasing them 25 million bonus to allies, 25 million bonus to defense. No, it's raw bonuses. So I could whip out the calculator really quick just to show you guys this, and let's see exactly what all this is. So if we look at 45 million, which is quite a lot, and multiply that by 0.02, we will see that it is about 900,000 combined. So if you activate Bloodlust, you will get 900,000 attack and 900,000 defense for 12 hours. Now something that you'll notice is that the duration for these stat buffs are all 12 hours, and you might be wondering there, well, what about what you said about the hide allies bit, where, you know, there's incentives to use shorter duration spells? Well, in this case, you can't stack spells of the same type. This is so mainly you don't get 900,000 and then get, I think this is like around 700,000 for Battle Fury, and then just become extremely strong without, you know, actually having those stats. And so for Fog of War, that's just going to increase your spy attack and defense, and Veil of Darkness doing the same thing. Now you will notice that you will have to pay more than Mithril for a higher stat boost. It's not like, oh, I have 4 Highlands explored, therefore I will pay 3 Mithril for a better buff. Nope, the increase will be there. Now just a quick bit about Mithril. I did talk about how it is paid out to the winners of a system war, and that's just how you get it. It's not paid out to if you lose a system war. If you lose a system war, you get nothing, same as before. Just whatever gold you got during the war. So it's only if you win a system war that you will get Mithril. You cannot get Mithril any other means. You cannot go to the Oracle, offer to spend real money and buy Mithril. Nope, you can only get it through PvP in the war system. Wanting to stress that. Now, some people have been asking, if you reset, do you keep your Mithril? Well, I haven't tested it myself yet, so I've only have people's word for it. I've asked the devs about it, and what they've said is that it should be kept with you much like crystals or speakers. So if that is wrong, I apologize. I haven't tested it myself, but you should be able to keep your Mithril through that. Another question that I need to test that I haven't gotten an answer for yet, that I want to say no to, is if you can get Mithril before you upgrade the castle. Since, you know, people obviously wage war before they land complete and upgrade the castle, and so on. I want to say no, because you can't see the alchemist, access the alchemist, and so on, but I could be mistaken, especially since Mithril is supposed to carry over after you reset. So that's that. Another thing is, people asked, if I upgrade my castle and reset, will I be able to keep the level 2 castle without having to pay another 4 billion gold for it? The answer to that is no, you will have to re-upgrade your castle, but you'll be able to do that without having to land complete again, as it is tied to the achievement of having explored 25 lands or lowlands. And so that's that. Going to abilities, we get some pretty dynamic stuff here. Seal of Loyalty and Oath of Fealty, both are just different durations on hiding your allies. And so what that means is, if you go to someone's profile, we'll go look at some top players, since they're probably going to use this whenever they can, to save himself from getting stripped. Hey, he only has 3 allies. What is this? Oh, most valuable. Sorry, I thought I was looking at strongest. If we look at Red Star, he's got all sorts of amazing, awesome, powerful statted allies. And so say he wants to go into a system war where combined stats don't save you via Defender too strong and Defender too weak. So he wants to be safe, so he'll activate one of those 2 spells to hide his allies. So when you go to allies, you'll see something like allies are hidden. Additionally, you'll see in the active spells bar which of those spells is active. If you see it's the 8-hour spell, then you know to check in within the next 8 hours to see when it expires, and to go at him then if he's not online to reactivate it. I do apologize for my voice, guys. I'm a little bit sick at the moment. So that's just what Hide Allies does. Now, while it will say allies are hidden and you won't see any allies here, if you search up these allies individually via ally search, or you see them off the battle list or something, it will show Red Star as the owner, even though when you go to Red Star's profile, it'll say allies are hidden. So, before a war, if you document, you know, who owns who, you can successfully strip people, or at least attempt to strip people via that. And for those who are new to Kingdoms at War and want to know what stripping is just where you buy up someone's allies to make sure that they have gold out, and then immediately steal as much as they can, or attack as much as they can to make that person lose a high amount of gold. Now you can see that I've been attacked and I haven't lost yet. If we look at battle, I defended, that person failed, that person failed, that person failed, I defended, and so on. And again, I'm saving that for the end, since that's not entirely about the update. But I am going to get there. So, Unholy Aura is unlocked, the fealty I already said was unlocked at 100 allies. Unholy Aura is unlocked at having explored 4 Highlands, which is why I did it, so I could show you guys exactly what it says. And what Unholy Aura does is it gives you a 50% chance to make an enemy kingdom lose 100% more gold from your successful attacks and steals. So I talked about stripping a while ago, and I know that might have been too many words, so let me just put this a little bit more, I guess, how should I say, simple terms, I guess. So basically what happens is you're not going to be getting extra gold whenever this activates, as it is a 50% chance, as in it won't activate all the time. But whenever you attack or steal from an enemy and you see Unholy Aura active on your spells that you used, and you will be able to see the spells that you used whenever you attack and so on. And it will just tell you if the defender used spells. It won't tell you what they are. You'll have to go to their profile to look. Whenever you see that icon, it means that they lost. Instead of losing 10 million gold from your attack, they'll lose 20 million gold from your attack. So you want to use Unholy Aura. It is somewhat expensive at 15 mithril compared to some of the other things, such as the stat buffs, the Seal of Loyalty, and colors. But you want to use this whenever you want to cause some permanent damage to an enemy. So I've talked about the abilities. I'm going to go ahead and go to Other, and Other at the moment is only used for colors. So basically I already showed you guys colors. Everyone is reset to a white text, but you can see that some people are purple, some people are blue, some people are teal or cyan, depending on what you want to call it. Moderators are of course green automatically as part of being a moderator. And so what you do is you pay 1 mithril, the cheapest spell in the game, and for 1 hour you have your username in that color. Additionally, I believe, although I haven't confirmed, your name will adjust to that color over here if you are on PC, and it will adjust on the home screen if you are on an iDevice. So that way you will know that you have that color active. So that is going to be that. You will be able to see your active spells there whenever you activate them, and I am tempted to waste my mithril to show you guys, but I do want to wait for a system war and activate a spell for that, so that way I'll be more likely to earn more mithril. So someone PM'd me, someone sent me a wall, and so I'll look at all that in a bit. But first I'm going to go ahead and end this little bit. I know I didn't talk about too much, I just covered the general basics, but this seems important. I hope I haven't talked too long, I can't see the timer. But I basically land completed, tore down all of my tier 3 buildings since I was tier 3 land complete. In other words, I had all sorts of tier 3 buildings, and I had all 25 lands explored on the lowlands, and I upgraded my castle. And so the main reason why I did this is that I wanted the castle stats. The castle stats are static, meaning they don't change. They have no troops, so if you upgrade the castle as a pure spy, you'll still be a pure spy. You'll just have extra stats as if you own allies with that stat, with those stats. And so I wanted to go down to the, considering it's 40-40 and 30-30, doing a little bit of math, 80,000 plus 60,000, 140,000. I wanted to go down to the 140,000 level, a little bit above that because of my level 1 guild giving me 300 and my level 1 barracks giving me 600, and my little ally bonuses over here, which you have to convert again via times 0.02 to see your actual bonus. And I wanted to go down to that level, and basically no matter at what level my troops or spies were, I'd have the same stats. However, when I did this, I noticed that I got something a little bit more than I intended, and it is kind of nice if you ever want to do this, and I'm going to talk about exactly what all it all means and what I mean by that. So you notice that all these people failed on me. They failed to steal, I successfully defended, they failed to assassinate, they failed scouting, and so on. Basically, I'm kind of invincible at the moment, and I'm going to cover why. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my attacker. Now remember, I have 40, 40, 30, 30. The person who just failed on me he has maybe 3,000 combined. I've got easily 50 times plus, more than that, much more than that, his stats. If we look at Shadow Sword, I just looked at him. If we look, that's someone writing on my wall. If we look at Tucker Ernest, he's not doing too well as far as stats. He's got 4,000, he's grown a little bit. If we look at my battle list, you'll notice and see, oh, okay, this is 15, 13, 150, 150, and I know I'm just throwing out numbers, but bear with me, I will get to what this all means. 13, 1500, 150, 375. And basically what I'm trying to get to here is my current combined outside of upgrading the castle is only 600 plus 300, so it's only 900 combined plus whatever my ally bonuses are, which are rather big for my stats. I mean, if you take just the 24,000 attack alone, 24 and 16, that's 40,000 right there. And so we'll briefly go over to that, go to 40,000 times 0.02, and you can see that's 800 more combined alone from that ally. But I only have 12, and not all of them are nearly that strong. But that's why I'm encountering those allies. But it means that the castle isn't being calculated in the battle list, and it's not being calculated very possibly in Defender 2 week payout, as far as, you know, if someone attacks you, it won't change the gold because they're hitting someone stronger than you. I mean, hitting someone stronger than them, or just hitting someone with more combined than it is. And yet it's listed on your ally bonuses, and so that's a little bit confusing, a little bit concerning to me, but it is intended to an extent. It's kind of an acknowledged exploit. But what this basically means is that if you have an upgraded castle, your battle list is going to be biased towards you, as the people on the battle list will either have an upgraded castle themselves, or they will not have an upgraded castle, because it's not going to factor in the castle stats when you open up the battle list. Likewise, if you're getting near land complete, aka you're getting near that 25 lands where you can upgrade your castle, if you're at 20 or anything, you know, around there where you've got all of your buildings converted to around the land complete area, when you go to the battle list, you might encounter people that have an upgraded castle, but it won't factor in that they have an upgraded castle in their stats. This means that until you have an upgraded castle, if you don't have an upgraded castle, basically, the battle list is more likely to be mean to you, and if you have an upgraded castle until you reach the Highlands where everyone should have an upgraded castle, the battle list is going to be nice to you. Now, since it is static stats, you're not going to get any ally plunder. Towers and fortresses don't give any ally plunder, and so the castle won't give any ally plunder. It's just stats. In this instance, it acts like a pro pack or a permanent item. So what this basically means is, instead of having just consistent 40,000 stats across the board for my attack and defense, and a consistent 30,000 stats for my spies across the board, this means that I can hit these people, admittedly for very little gold, since, you know, I'm only keeping the T1 bit, but I can't lose at all. My overwhelming might crush the enemy. I'm going to go ahead. You can see that repeat action is not on PvP, so there is going to still be counterplay there, but it is on epic battles. So I'm going to go ahead and just attack this poor person repeatedly. You can see my overwhelming might is just crushing them, and I'm just hitting them just fine. I'm making a decent amount of gold for my stats. You know, hitting someone that's average for my income. And so that is a little bit interesting. Now what I could do is I could increase my combined stats to the 170,000 combined range, and they would treat me as if I had the 40,000, 30, 30, you know, if I actually had those stats, but it wouldn't factor in the castle still. So even as I spent my troops, I'd have more stats than believed. And so basically the castle at low range, if you do this crazy absurd thing and take all your buildings and tear down, it'll make you near invincible. if you don't do this and you don't have a castle upgrade and you're around when other people have castle upgrades, you're going to be in trouble. If you have a castle upgrade, you're going to be fine. So basically, upgrade the castle. It lets you access the alchemist, and hopefully you won't run into people like me who have castle upgrades long before you should land complete at various combined ranges. And so that is going to be that. Oh, just something I want to briefly bring up. Rival Clans originally was only on the iDevice, but now it is on PC. It has been modified, so you can see, your prestige changes if you win or lose. Additionally, if you go to top clans and you search a clan, it'll show you how much it will change. And here you can see, because they are such a high prestige compared to mine, I will gain 95 prestige, and if I lose, I will only lose 4, as opposed to if I win, I gain 49, and if I lose 51. And so you can see it's an incentive to hit people stronger than you, and in later updates, prestige will be used for more things. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. I don't think I included everything, but if you want to have more information, you can look up the update information in news, and I believe there is an FAQ stickied on the forums. But again, you'll have to go to the forums to get there. And so, until next time, this is Corinthian, signing off.